Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to be talking about the network section, how the network section of a mobile phone, the function of a network section. So when you look closely at this PCB, when you look closely at the PCB, you will see that there are three ICs. This one is the uh, PFO, the power frequency oscillator, or the power amplifier, and this one is the 3G and 4G power amplifier, while this one is the 2G power amplifier, and this one is the main network IC. Because if you check the ICs closely, you see that this one and this one, they both have legs, they both have their pins are at the outer side of the IC, at the corner of the IC. You see that the pins are at the corners of the ICs. You see, the pins are at the corners of the ICs. But if you see this one, you won't see any pin. You see that there's no leg, doesn't have any leg at the corner of the IC. So it's a revolving chip. It's not like these two. So that's why these two, where you can identify them by looking at the pins. In most phones, you always see that this power amplifier IC and this 3G 4G amplifier IC are mostly, they have their pins at the corner of the IC. While the other one, which is the main network IC, does not have. That's the radio frequency. It doesn't have. But the pins are in the middle of the IC. Now, when network, or when these two the antennas are the up, and also the ones at the subboard. I don't have the subboard here, but the subboard is going to bring in electromagnetic wave. It's going to it's going to pick electromagnetic wave from a radio station and then passes it through this. If you look carefully, you'll see that this is there are small resistors here, and also there's a small IC. So these antennas are going to convert that electromagnetic wave into electrical signal, because a phone deals with electricity. So that electrical signal is going to pass through these ICs, which are going to filter. You see, you pass here, you see like a small road, and then it will filter that electrical signal and then passes it through this antenna switch. This is the antenna switch, which is going to switch the electrical signal that will come into this IC. If you check, you also see that this this is the antenna socket where you connect your cable. So it also brings the electrical signal that from the downboard, it will also bring the electrical signal and passes it to this component for filtering. These components are going to filter that electrical signal, which will get into this antenna switch. Because when the electrical signal is coming, it's raw, it's like raw. So it has to go through some process in order to be filtered and refined. So it's going to pass through this antenna switch. If you check very well, you see that it's going into this IC, which is a power amplifier that helps to boost that signal or to amplify it to a maximum level so that it can pass it into this network IC. So this one, which is a power amplifier, is going to boost that signal, that electrical signal, into a higher signal, into a higher level, and it is going to pass it into this main network IC. So this main network IC, before it gets here, you will also undergo some processes. You see these small ICs. and these resistors, they are bound past filter. They filter the electrical signal. And then when you look, you see that there's a line. Those lines that goes into this one, into the main IC. Even from here, you also see that this 3G, 4G also passes the electrical signal of the 3G, 4G into this, the main network IC. Then from here, the main network IC is going to process that electrical signal as radio frequency. This main network IC is going to process that electrical signal into radio frequency, and then it's going to send it into your mobile phone as baseband. It's going to send it into your mobile phone as baseband. So that's why when you check if you want to check about the baseband, you can go to your setting. You go to the setting and then you check about phone. Go to setting, you check about phone and text. There you find the baseband. And then the baseband is what we have the CPU to recognize the network, and then it is going to transform it into data. It's going to transform it into data. That's what you see at the top right hand side of your mobile phone, which is network. The CPU is this component. The CPU is this guy. This is the AMMC. This is the CPU, which is going to do that work. When you check very, very carefully, you see that it's written MediaTek. MediaTek CPU. It's MediaTek. Then when you check the network IC also, you also see a symbol on it. It's not really clear, but it's written MediaTek also. It's written MediaTek, but you will not see MediaTek here on these two sides, which means that this IC is connected directly to the CPU. This IC is also like a power component, or is almost like the CPU. You see MediaTek in order to identify the network IC, which produces that baseband, which the CPU is going to identify. And now, when it identifies it, it's going to transform it into data that you see at the top right hand side of your mobile phone. I hope everything I said is understood. So that is how the network section functions. And now when the CPU gets that data, you also transform it into you also transform that digital data into analog, and then analog signal, and then you send it. Is going to send it back to this network IC, and this network IC is going to process that frequency, that electrical signal again into radio frequency, and then it's going to send it back. It's going to send it back to this power frequency oscillator or power amplifier for amplification, for it to boost or to increase the strength of that radio frequency to a certain level, so that it can go to far places, and then it's going to send it back into this antenna switch. From the antenna switch, it's going to switch it back to this antenna, and from this antenna socket passes through the cable and goes back to space or to the other side, of the other person who is making the call. So this is how the network section function. So I hope everything I said is understood. So in the next video, we are going to see we are going to see about network problems and solution. So when this network section has a fault, what can you do? What is the solution? What is to be done in order to solve the problem? I also noticed that in some phones, this one has 3 network IC, but in some phones, like this one, it also has 3 network IC, 1, 2, 3. And this, like I said, the other ones have pins. You see, they also have pins. The other one, this one have pins. You see, but this one does not have, which is the main network IC. You see, you don't see any pin there. You won't see a pin. IC is the main network IC. And in other motherboards like this one, you see that you see two ICs. There are two network IC, and then the other one is at the back. This is the 3G, 4G network IC. Sometimes they used to put it at the back. So if you don't see it here, where the other ICs are, you can check it on the other side of the motherboard. You may see it here. And in some phones, in some motherboards, or in some other motherboards, you see that only two ICs. You not see three, you see two, which one is the main network and the other one is the power frequency oscillator. And then the 3G, 4G is being is being compacted into the network IC itself. And then that is what how the network functions. That is how the network functions. And then how to identify the network section. You see that to identify it is not difficult. You see that the shield, this side is marked. You see that the areas are marked. And then you see that this part of it, you don't have bigger capacitors like the power section, like this other side. You see that this other side is also marked. But you see that this side has bigger capacitors. But here you don't see bigger capacitors, only few, like from this small ones, this one here. You also find this one here and here, and then another one here. Because the network section does not require high amount of voltage to work. Only requires a little amount of voltage in order to function. And then if you check the antennas to identify the network section, you always look at these antennas, the antenna switch, antenna socket, and the cable. And here, the antenna socket. This is the antenna where you plug the antenna, or where you plug your cable. This is where it passes. So that's the network section. And if you have anything about network issues, this is where you should be checking. Okay, that is all for the video. And the next time we are going to have the next video is about network faults and the solutions, how you can solve it. Thanks. Please subscribe to my video and then like the video so that it can go viral. Thank you for your support.